let's go down. And again, the login for all of this is, this should be in the project one. If not, it's listed in our mini project one. So once you're in here and you start, so this was actually like a list. You can create lists in here. You don't have to. But what happened is like, this is a list of all the terms that were searched. And so then I believe that you can export this. Okay, this is what they did. They ended up exporting it to an Excel sheet. So then what this looks like, and I'll go back and show you how you can make the list if you want. Then they just attached this to their report. So it was a CSV file. They turned it into a PDF. So this is just, again, showing the work piece that you can just attach. So it's saying, in this instance, this would be the piece that you're showing what you search. So they search graphic design, logo design, brand development, graphic designer, all of these. And then they look at the monthly volume and kind of say like why they ended up choosing the one that they did. And of course, like in these, you can end up collapsing these these columns so you can see them by like priority. And, you know, as we've learned in this class, priority is a good metric to go off of. So we go with like a higher priority. So if we were to look at for one page, it would probably be, let's see when she changed topics. Then the ones get into like logo design and graphic design. So they researched a ton of keywords. You don't have to go this big. They really were very thorough in this. So this is definitely someone, the type of work you want to do for someone when you are doing your best, like as a consultant, because you like, look at all this great work and why we compared on the terms. So remember when we're choosing what keywords we're looking at, we would want to look at the priority of them. And then also we'd want to look at how much the monthly search volume is. So we want to look probably in the minimum because that's our bottom number, but we wouldn't want to choose something that has priority, but not a high search volume. So if we're looking at these two, let's hide these columns. So let's say that we're looking at these two terms, graphic design and logo design, and trying to decide between them. They both have a high priority of 83, and that's higher than any of the priorities as we scroll down the list. So then we look and say, okay, well, what's the monthly minimum volume? This one has a minimum search volume that's higher. So probably be the one that we want to go with. So then if we wanted to add to that, we could look at like, maybe we put like Kalispell graphic design in front of it. Because we know that Kalispell is such a local term that's not going to get national search, but we know the graphic design is a large term. So that's the sheet that you could attach for the comparing. You don't have to do any work for it. It's just kind of showing the work back. But here's what we would do when we go back to the Keyword Explorer. If you wanted to create a list like that, then what you would end up doing, like let's go with our example of, let's do something, let's do aerial yoga. So let's say that we were doing something for a yoga studio. We type in aerial yoga, and then what ends up coming up. So these are when it's reported out in the PDF here. This the V was volume, the D is difficulty. So just so you have an idea of where these are coming from. The click-through rate is 50, or is this right here, the organic CTR, and the P is 76. So it's nice if you can just list them in there so you have an idea of what the volume was for those and how much was searched. So then what you can do once you do that is you can, if you wanted to, you could add it to a keyword list. So if you wanted to create a new list, these are all lists that had been created before. So it's just a way, you don't have to, you could just strip this information out and put it in the sheet. Or if you didn't want to do it that way, you could see all suggestions. Once you see all suggestions, you could export this and show this as a comparison. So this is a quicker way at looking at the keywords than going through and searching individual terms, but you could export like this and show. So this would be for one page, right? So then I'd want to go back and search for another page, but then you can combine those all together. So that's one way. If you wanted to do like individual ones and be very specific, you could add them to a list and you would create a new keyword list. And so you come down here, so you create a new list, and then you just name it probably whatever your topic is. And then it helps sometimes if you put your name behind it, because or like last name, so then you know it's associated with you. So then no one else is working on your list or overwriting your information. So that is where the comparison comes from. It's just basically the time that you spend in Moz. When you come out of here, make sure that you're downloading your information. You're either downloading your keyword suggestions or you're downloading the list that you create.